Next up is a band called Panzerballet, and the album is Ubercode Oeuvre. If I try to throw some French in there and hope I didn't mispronounce it. Speaking of unique and adventurous, this is a German band, and their name does tell you a bit about what you can expect in the music. You know, the combo between the brutality of a tank and the gentle and precise experience of the concert dance form. And it's a fascinating exercise in instrumental virtuosity, blending elements of metal and jazz and fusion and funk, and even disco, and a bit of classical dalliances, all wrapped in this kind of math rock package. There are times when this is atonal and definitely rhythmically jolting, bordering on experimental, really, and actually, maybe crossing the border into experimental on occasion, maybe even often. If you're looking for a lot of melodicism, you're not really going to find it here. This is mostly naughty, challenging, chaotic music at most times, with some occasional digressions into more traditional jazz or jam rock, even a bit of classic programming, as we talked about. It's not to say that they are never melodic. You got the song like Andromeda being probably the best example that has a lot of more traditional jazz fusion elements, and also, of note, one of several tracks where they are joined by the inimitable Marco Miniman, and also their cover of disco classic Pick Up the Pieces. Now, like me, you may not immediately recognize the title, but if you've been around long enough, I'm fairly confident you're going to recognize the tune. Meanwhile, there are two white elephants on this album, two versions of Ode to Joy. Beethoven, I believe that is, yes? No? Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, the vocal version features several different vocal styles, starting with a female choir, and eventually getting into death metal growls and black metal croaks, or whatever you want to call those. All of it backed by an ever-evolving and shifting arrangement of instruments. Honestly, it's got to be heard to be fully appreciated. That's as best a description I can give. You got to hear it. I'm not entirely sure, but I think when listening to it, the instrumental version really is just the same song without the vocals. So, fairly tame by comparison. Now, this is cool stuff, and definitely worthy of my instrumental playlist, though I can't say how much I would go back, just to listen to this as an album. It's a fascinating body of work, though, and I think probably for me, best in small doses. But I think for a lot of you, this is a recommend. At the very least, again, throw it on an instrumental playlist and let it pop up from time to time, especially for the fun of people realizing that somebody's playing up this disco classic. I mean, just for that in and of itself, it's worth the price of admission.